Happy Octoberween again. Yes, day 16. We are rounding the corner, only 15 more days to go. Today, I'm tackling the Halloween lamp. Now, it's not a huge one. I'm going to grab my tape measure here, my trusty rusty here. It's been around for 1,000 years. And on the inside, it's a whole, not even 4, get that up there, well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, it's about 4 5/8 by, about 1 1/2 to 1 3/4 if you go tip to tip. So not very large, but it will make a wonderful night light, especially if your children like scary things. My children always did, except for my daughter. She had a thing about Freddy Krueger, and she ended up sleeping in my bed probably 5 years after that. So yes, please, if your child seems a bit sensitive, teach them better. No, do better for them. All right, I'm going to pause you here. Before I even do, as you can tell, these are the stickers that comes with this. And I was looking at it, and I have an issue because this tree sticker here is so large that it will never fit properly side to side, even over 2 of them. So I will see how that has to go, and whether I use him or not. And then there's, of course, these. And, well, you'll probably see it better right there with those. And so I have, well, you can't really see a thing with all that shine. Maybe I can get rid of that upper light over there to see if that works better. Oh, much better. I think I'll leave that off. You might be able to see more of what I'm doing. Okay, so that's the deal. And then I'm going to be using the HTB Ront Brown again. And the panes are going to be in that smoky brown you saw if you watched the video with the coffin earrings and the little skeletons. It's going to be that smoky brown, probably just a little deeper brown though. So that's the plan. Alright everybody, I'll be back soon. I'm going to have to mix some resin. I made a small change. I had kind of a sort of, I don't know, weird thought a few moments ago before I started mixing resin. And I thought, well, these colors of these stickers would probably get really, really lost on that smoky color. So I thought, we can't have that. I don't want it to get lost. So what I came up with instead was HTB Ront, bluish violet, and purple. They've never been used before, so I want to see what they're going to be like. And for their counterparts, I am going to pick this light color purple glitter, and I'm going to put it in the darker, in the blue violet, or bluish violet. And then I'm going to put this lighter colored one, vice versa there, folks. The darker in the purple and the lighter in the bluish violet. And I think that will bring everything out a lot better. So, with that said, I'll be back very shortly here with some mixed resin, and we will get it going. Okay, I've decided to do 2 batches of resin for this pour. This is the lighter, the true purple, and this on the other side, you can see the difference. This is the bluish purple. And it's still, as far as I'm concerned, too blue. So, I will be mixing the 2 colors to lighten that bluish purple. And so, well, bluish violet, excuse my mouth. So what we're going to do is I'm going to bring this cup over to here, and I'm going to put 1 drop. Wow, that is really strong stuff. And so, as you can tell, it is very bluish. So we're going to add just purple a couple of times. 1, 2. Now we're going to stir that and see how that goes, to see what kind of coloration I have, what kind of hue of purple I'm getting. Get all the blue mixed in. Remember, I'm trying to make this as transparent as possible, but with some good color. So we're going to get this mixed in as well as we can. Got some streaking still, got some side stuff. It's probably going to have a gazillion bubbles. It's cold in my room. It's been on a heat mat, but this time I did not separate the resin and let it sit the way I normally do. I had to have an experiment going on. So, okay, it's still a little too transparent. So 1 more of the purple, the bluish purple. Whoops, so okay, 2 of that. Apparently, I decided it wanted to come volcanoing out. So we counter that with 1, 2, 3, 4 of the purple. Anyways, yesterday's pour seemed to go really very wacky. I don't know what happened, so I had to experiment today. What I found out was, yesterday I used this very mixing cup to measure both resins. I thought I was going to be smart and do it that way. However, my little test today proved that it is not very well calibrated, and therefore I was measuring at eye level, but it was incorrect even though I read it as correct. So please don't use these for accurate measurements. It will not do any good for you. Alright, that's about the coloration I wanted. Maybe a little bit, I don't know, maybe a little bit bluer. Let's go with that. No, I think that is really pretty. I think that's fine. And now with this one, I want to add, I think I'm going to add the lighter glitter. And it's the fine glitter, so it will settle all the way down to the fronts here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to alternate. We want quite a fair amount of glitter in there. But I'm going to alternate window panes. So let's get that one capped up there. Well, that's really pretty together. It's kind of a pinky purple. Okay, so we're going to get that mixed in. And for all excess resin, I do, of course, have excess molds that are fun to do. And so if you haven't seen, which I'm sure you hadn't, I'm using one of the skull molds again to catch all. And it's probably not going to be large enough to contain everything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set it aside. And I'm going to ask if my assistant will reach up and grab that set of 2 identical molds, please. And pull one out. They are slightly large. No. Skulls. Thank you, dear. Alright, I am at the pouring stage. So, I would like to do this in steps. So that this is the mold. Sorry, it's probably upside down for you. That's the mold. It's almost like the one that I've got over there that I've been pouring. So I'm going to try to break this up a little bit into a paper cup to be able to pour simpler. Yeah, easier. Less damage to everything. We'll pour some in. Get that right there. I have to pour, of course, quickly. And we have to decide where to begin. So I'm just going to work my way backwards. So we're going to go this way. I'll let the resin settle. And then come back and for the backfill. And we're going to do this. Wow, maybe I won't have enough for a skull. And what I have to do, because of the way this thing is made, this mold, I have to fill that one. Okay, pick the cup up. Let's do that again. Alright, here we go. Now if my assistant can get level with the mold and see if any of this is getting too close. Fill, I can tell this one here needs a little bit. I need a wipe, that's what I need. Thank you. It's traveling down the cup and I can't have it drip where I don't want it. Alright, I gotta try to see where these are. Whoops. Got a little bit of a breach. I'll have to take care of that very quickly. Everything is so shiny. Whoa, 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 whoa. Dude, not so fast. Let's just bring it over this edge. Get it up to that edge where it's supposed to go. Up and over these pieces where they fit together. Oops. I allowed the cup to drain down. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and travel the stick along the top there so that I can coax it to all the edges it needs to go. I don't think I much need to coax this one. I see some coaxing needed at this edge just a little. And of course there's a drip where it shouldn't be, but we will work with it. Make sure that those are done like that. All along the edge here. And if you want to know how to tell if it's actually hit the edge you're supposed to be at, your resin will actually look like it's dented if it's not close to that. So if you see kind of the indentation look, it means that it hasn't touched that edge yet. Okay, we've got that one touched, except it wants to pull away from that area right there a little bit. I've got another cat that wants to join me today. And I don't mind, but not when the resin is fresh. Okay, I've got to fix this overflow here. So I'm going to take my cup and turn it around. Pull this up, get it in. It definitely touched the edge on this one, didn't it, folks? Except for right there. Go ahead and try to get it down off of there. And I'll wipe it off that edge in a moment. I just need to get my stick cleared up and bring this down just enough. Yeah, put it in a squeeze cup so that you can overflow anyway, right? I'm looking at that one. You got to make sure these little nibs up here are for sure there. Okay, I'm going to scrape my little piece here. Oh, I'm leaving resin everywhere. Today's cleanup is going to be exciting. Turn my stick over, try from the other side. There we go. I don't know if all of this is getting into the frame And you're all able to see it with my hand in the way. But at least you know the importance. Now if I've taken out too much, all I need to do is use my stick, and I see some missing here. And that'll help bring it up some more without the risk of too much overflow. And I can see, yes, we need a little bit more right here so that it can level better. And I did take too much out of this one. Got a small amount needed there. And it looks like I might need some right about here as well. Not much. Okay, let's see where we're at with this third one here. Remember, I'm trying to dome these so that there's no cutting edges. I mean, I do have a deburring tool, but then that means I'd also have to do a little bit of sanding. And I don't want to have to do that. And what is wrong with this tip here? There we go. That should have done that. Apparently not. Okay, so maybe I'm not supposed to cover those tips all the way. That would be me. Okay, this one's having troubles keeping the tab covered. But it looks like I've got plenty in there. I'm going to come back down and make sure on this side again, because I did take a lot out to bring it off that side. Sorry everybody, I'm going completely sideways to look. Alright. Now, I will have some leftover resin to put into the skull. But, see, this was supposed to go this here, and then that there, so unfortunately this is going to have to go there. So done. Now this is going to have to go that way. Yeah, okay, so I need a total of, let's see, there are 6 and 6, that's 12, correct. So, I have 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, ma'am, I hear you. Well, why don't I just do that then? We'll pour into each one of these last two ones here. This color. And then with the next color, I'll pour into the other. Alright, gotta get down here, table level. I see dome. I see not enough dome. Okay, that should have caught that up. Whoops, I've got that on my mat. One moment. Can I get a wet wipe, please? Get this resin up before it begins getting too gooey to do. What am I doing on time over there, please? I'll lift myself. Well, I'm sorry when you're whispering because you don't want to be heard, my dear. It's difficult for me to hear you. Just like it would be difficult, of course, for them, which is what your intentions are. I don't know why. I know guys are more shy than gals. You ever try to get a guy to sit long enough for a picture? Yeah, okay. Alright, so, what do we got here? Okay, I see some needed in this one here. Alright, now, the fun part. I don't think there's enough glitter in this one or something, but it's just, oh, it just wasn't full enough. It was looking so much lighter. Okay, I think those are done. Might need to be coaxed in a couple areas. This mold seems to have an issue with its coaxing and sticking where it needs to stick to the mold in certain areas for these tabs. So I'm going to put just a little bit more in this one here because it's having such great difficulties at that. Alright, so we need something for the base. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour this side just like that. And I'm going to go ahead and let it go around so that it evens out. This is, of course, the darker one. But I don't want it all the way full. I want the lighter one to go on top. So, hello, Mr. Skull. We're going to pour this out onto you. Okay. So it doesn't drip all the way down the other way. We'll kind of scrape from this angle here over the cup where it was closer to me. Alright. That's enough out of the cup. Let's get the rest out of the mixing bowl. Oh boy, look at all that resin right there. And glitter. I might have to tape my heating pad down because it keeps wanting to move on me. I'm going to pour this over his teeth for just a little bit of the skin on them. From the skin of my teeth. Oh, sorry. Some sort of weird thing. I didn't know teeth had skin, but hey. We'll get some on these little knobs here so it gets a little bit of a mix there. Good thing I was getting really warm in this here mixing cup. So I'm going to let this portion cure, everybody. So I'm going to go ahead, pause you, and let this cure up, and then I'll come back to do the second portion. Alright, everybody. Back soon. Alright, everybody. I'm at the point, I've got my other resin warmed up. I'm making a lot more resin this time. I put 140A and I'm going to put 140B in. They've been warming to release the bubbles. This is primarily to help fill the skull a little bit, and because, well, I didn't have that much left in my 1 gallon kit. So I wanted to use it up as fast as possible. I still actually have a little bit left in case I need it for the skull, but you can only cure so deep with this resin. So we've had this on the mat for about an hour. Let's see, I put it on at 3:30. Oh wow, hour and a half already almost. So now's the time to get the other color purple mixed, and by now they're all tacky, so I'm not going to worry too much. If a little drip gets here and there on the other purple because I have to separate them, that's fine. And I know you're seeing only really the netting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shoot you backwards to normal, and then I'm going to bring you up 1, 2. All right? Maybe that's a little bit better for you to see. So I'm going to pop this off of here. And as you can tell, all of A is in this cup right now. And I have to get my other glove on real fast. And I'm sure you don't want to watch me mix resin except for putting the color in. So I'll pause you one more time and be back in about 5 minutes. Of course, you know, hair of a second for you guys. Okay, no more streaks, means it's thoroughly mixed. And yes, you do scrape the sides all the way flat with the edge of your spatula. Then you go along with the flat side of your spatula and do it because that helps to remove it off your spatula. Then you turn around, you do the other, and then mix from out to in, and then in to out backwards. Scrape one more time, stick, and that's that with that. Alright, I've decided I'm going to put 1 hint of the bluish violet. Just one little hint. 1. Don't you dare try to drop more in there. Okay, I want just a little bit of that color to tie into this color. Now, because, and I forgot to shake that anyway, so I'm going to shake this one real fast. I always make a mistake when I do that because, well, I'll open it and it'll squirt out everywhere. So I'm going to try to do this as gently as possible. And then we're going to put, oops, see, that's wanting to run out. 1, 2, 3. I see that drop trying. 4. And we're going to stop it right there. Stir where we're, see where we're at. That bluish violet really likes to go to the side of the cup almost immediately. I did separate the two resin and hardener into their own spaces this time because the experiment was over. Yes, the cup I'm using for mixing is not calibrated, so it does mess things up a little bit. I'll try to scrape all that off the side there and get it incorporated in. Scrape your stick. Get your streaks off the side of your cup. See where we're sitting at color-wise. All right, I think a little bit more of the actual purple. So we're going to put 2 more drops in. 1, 2. And that's all the color I need. So before I stir that in, I'm going to do myself a big favor and put my glitter in. Now I decided I like these 2 glitters much better. There's a darker purple and a blue. A very sapphire-ish looking blue. So we're going to put a little bit of the blue in this time. Whoa! Yeah, okay. That's not a little, but okay, that'll work. Whatever it wants to do, right? Get the staticky pieces off the side there. And now some of the purple. Don't, oh come on, don't go off the other side. I love how staticky this glitter is because when it gets to the side it looks like that little magnetic beard guy I used to play with as a kid. Oh my goodness, that was so long ago. Anyway, so now we got all that glitter. Can you please hand me a wet wipey, please? Thank you. Because I don't want to spread the glitter everywhere. But I will anyway, like my husband, the assistant, just said. Now I got to get that clumpy out of that glitter. And let's get that incorporated. Make sure there's no big clumps. If you see them, squish them against the side of the cup if you can. And that'll help break them up. Oh, that blue made it an even darker purple, actually. I think that actually looks beautiful. It's got all that little purpley sparkle up there amongst that bluish. Alright, here we go. We're going to pour it into a paper cup again, and this time I'm going to try to have a little bit more control, and if he snickers one more time, don't call the search and rescue. Alright, I think we're mixed and ready to pour. Alright, get that off that stick as much as possible. Let's get the paper cup over here and a paper napkin to wipe up the gooeys as we go. I'm going to pour it in real fast. Up, 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 up. And too much. It would be too much. So we, oopsie, I dripped some on there anyway. Alright, as before, I'm going to pinch that cup tip right there. And we're going to pour as slow as possible this time. I'm going to get that drip. So it's gone more blue than purple because of the blue glitter, but that purple glitter is seeing itself in there real well. Oh, no you don't, Mr. Drip. Okay, let's try to get these little triangles as we go. And I will top them with a stick instead of trying to pour into them, so that we don't have a major disaster over the purple. As I said, I made plenty. 148, 140 so that's 280 mil all total. And we're almost done here with that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Where's the sixth one for that one? Oh, is it the halves? Because they don't have any tabs. Well, they could be, I don't know. So I'll pour them anyway. Drip. Right there, that's fine. Okay. So we'll go ahead and do these little half triangles. And dip our cup into the resin, right? The freshly poured resin, because that's just the way it goes. I'll move my arm around to this side. So I lay it right there. Refill time. Let's throw away that gooey one because I will probably put my arm or whatever else in it. Now remember, the deeper the resin, the faster it begins cure and can flash cure in a heartbeat. Okay, let's wipe that resin off there. Now, on the off chance I'm going to go too deep on that skull, I will pour this into a different mold. We'll let that stretch itself out a little bit. Can I get another napkin, please? Thank you. It looks domed on one part and not domed on the other. I don't understand that with this. I really don't. Okay, so we're going to go ahead. I have very little in here, so I will attempt to bring these up to a good level without the stick. Now the last batch had a ton of micro bubbles, so there wasn't anything I could really do about that because I experimented like a dodo, but I needed to experiment. That one there looks pretty well domed. This one here, almost. So we'll put a drop. And this one here still needs a little bit up top here. And then it's trying to breach the bottom. Okay, so what I need to do is adjust my height on this end a little bit. So I'm just going to put this under the edge of my leveling table leg and hope it doesn't go too far the other direction. Okay, that looks kind of good there. Alright, before this has its flash cure happen, get it stirred one more time. Looks like we're doing good still. Yes, I do have to keep an eye on the level. And I think we're good with that. because he's a lot wider in this area. And I think we're good with that. Now to scrape up what's left and then do the cleanup. Make sure everything's level. My mixing cup is getting a little old, otherwise I would just leave the leftover resin in it and pull it out later. But these days it's getting harder and harder to clean because of its use. So I will have to replace it soon. Alright, it looks like we're at wherever we're going to be. And I'm going to have my Mr. Assistant here clean that. And I will, oh, I still have some in the cup, don't I? Oh my goodness. Well, we can't have that. So what am I going to put it in? Can't put it in overly fill here, so I'm going to wipe my stick real fast. I don't normally do that, but you know, I just let everything cure on there. But since I'll be scraping in a second here. Anyway, now see, you can see that purple right there. It's almost pinkish because of the white, but try to get this cleaned up real fast. And we'll make room for a very small mold here. How about we do one of those bats or something? Earrings. What did I do with those? The jewelries. Oh heck, let's try this instead. Whoops, almost dropped them. Let's go with some purple speckled bats. Put this down out of my way. Let's see, let's try to get the big bat first all the way. Then whatever's left over I'll put in the skull. I do want this bat to top up though, so that they're rounded and not sharp. Okay, I think that's done it. Absolutely. Alright everybody, that's it for right now. I will return when these are cured and ready to demold, which will probably end up being in about 4 hours because these smaller pieces cure slower. Okay, back as soon. Alright, this has had a total time of cure for 4 hours. This, and that, although these were only 2 hours, 2 hours on the top of that, and 2 hours for the bat and the top of this. So, the skull is not finished. We've got to about that far. So he's got a lot of time to go still. A lot more resin, I should say, not time. Well, time too. So I'm going to set him out of the way now, as he cannot be unmolded at this point. The bats, we'll get those out of the way real fast because they were just an extra. Looks like they might be a little stretchy still, but they should come out anyway. I'm going to pop my finger up underneath there to push them out. It does have a little overspill on this bat. And we're going to try putting it on a black background. And I'll just set this on top of here for right now. And this bat, very easy to come out. And no overpour, no bad edges. That one did perfect. So I'll turn him over. And since it is a matte mold, not a bat mold, a matte mold. They are still slightly soft, so they're going to be slightly sticky feel. And they'll want to stick to things, but they're not actually sticky. I'm touching it and not getting glue on me. Just trying to pull the excess off under the wings here. There we go. And a little bit on the top here. A little bit right there. And I'll have to pull the rest off with tweezers because that's really tiny in there to get to. So I'm going to bring them up. Those are awesome little bats. Trying to get it to where you can see all the detail. Too bad the closer we get, the coloration fades out, but that's the bats. They're pretty cool. So I'm going to set them aside. I'll just put them right here on the edge of the skull. And onto the main attraction here. Now, once this is demolded, I have to put stickers on. So, let's see how badly I did with this. I'm going to go ahead and bring the black piece back over. Maybe shove it out of that one light there. We're going to pull these little guys out. Line them up. It looks like no bubbles formed around those fit together pieces. But it does look like this one right here didn't get covered all the way, so we'll see what happens. Excuse me. Frog again. I like frogs, just not in my throat. Oops, I forgot to turn that one over. Ha-ha. Alright, that's all of those. Now comes these fun little things. We'll go with the purples first, I suppose, or whatever wants to come out, I guess. Persistent, aren't I? I see that one. Actually, the purples were this way. Wow, they're so rounded I couldn't tell which way I was bringing them out. And I will put you all the way in view in a moment, okay? Because I don't know where I'm at when I'm not looking at a screen. Let's bring these down to here, and these to here, these here. Well, one of those is purple, I think. Get these side pieces. Yeah, the little triangles on the sides, these right here, those do fit together apparently at some point. Okay, so flip them all over. Set the mold aside. And let's get the base out. I'm really interested in this base since it was dual layered and dual colored. We'll take a quick look at its edge here. Not too bad. Almost directly half and a half there. And that's where the little light sits in. We'll pull that out. Want it open somehow. There we go. And as you can tell, the wire's here. It goes in like this, sits down in there, and that's what the tape is for, is to hold it in. I feel weird without my long fingernails, but when they break, they break. So, find the start of the tape. I believe I did. And it's like a mini masking tape. That's weird. I thought it would be like a double-sided sticky tape you could put in there. And then, well, I think what I'll do, I don't know how to put that in there without it showing. Isn't that odd? Okay, I've got it set down in there. But the only way to get that to stick down would be to try to position it directly in the middle, which is kind of hard. That light keeps wanting to pop out of there a little bit. Spring activated. So I'm going to put it directly over the middle, as close to that as possible, and that's just not working. So I'm going to fold it like a V, if at all possible. And then stick it down in. And just run my finger nails there. Let's just get something to burnish that onto this with. So we're going to burnish both sides in and on. I'll remove the excess tape, although I think maybe that little tab right there that just went over that might be a good idea to keep there, because it is holding that down. And burnishing that on seems to be working. So what I'll do is I'll take this piece here off, just rip it off, maybe, and maybe not. Let me get my craft scissors out. They're a little bit smaller than my regular scissors I use. Oh my goodness, okay. How about a craft knife? This is a really, really, really tiny craft knife here. I don't know if you can see that. There's the blade. So we're going to try using that without cutting the wire here. So I'm going to turn it this way. Get that out of the way. I don't want to cut my finger off, or the wire. I'm just going to kind of poke down through it. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's some pretty strong tape, folks. Okay, let's try a different approach. Okay, let me see. Let's try a little bit longer blade. I don't know how sharp this one is any longer. I'm just going to take it sideways so I don't poke through to the wire, and it's through there now. Okay, that side is done. And pull. Okay, got it finally. Sorry about that extra little bit of time there trying to put that thing straight. Now to get rid of the tape. There we go. I'll just stick it to something else. Alright, so that's down in there. I did put a warm light in. I do have a bright white light as well to test it. And all I'll do is to stack that one on top of this one. Alright, I need to be able to plug this in. Hopefully it won't make my computer go crazy, because that's the closest USB port I have. Let's see if I, oh wow, I could even manage to do that. Well, let's try it this way. Sorry everybody, you're going to get a little seasick. I'm going to tilt the camera a little bit. Well, hopefully. Let's see if I get that far over now. First I have to find ooh, that's quite bright after all. So I'm going to leave that lit up for a second sideways, and we're going to take a quick look through. Oh yeah, you can't look through that. And that is supposed to be the warm light. Looks like it's the bright white to me. Wow, you can definitely see through that one. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and... Now this does have an on-off switch. So I'm just going to leave it plugged in, and I'm going to go ahead and build the light. Now I know a lot of you people don't want to sit there and watch this done, but you know, these are molds that a lot of people have never done before, and a lot of new people don't know how to put these together. I seriously myself don't either. So what I'm going to do is figure this out. Now I'm pretty sure they're supposed to just slot together. And that would mean kind of like that. And then I'm sure they're going to end up having to be glued. And of course I can't find my craft glue, but having them being as clear as they are, like that, I should be able to use some UV. So I'll give that a shot. This is going to be a little bit difficult to do, so let's grab some UV. Well, it means I don't have my little, I don't know what happened to my little flashlight. Well, alright, I won't pause you here. I'm going to go ahead and show you, though, that these all slot together. They don't come with that kind of instruction, but they do slot together. That's why they're built like that. And you just keep going, and it forms a what's the word for a six-sided? Oh my goodness, brain cell died. Hexagon, I believe. I thought it was, and then, well, my assistant made sure that I knew that. So that's about what it does with those. I will find my craft glue, I know I will. And these all do the same thing. They slot together. These have got straight edges, no slots. See if I can get the colors just right, because, well, I took them off funny, didn't I? Okay, so this one's got the blue sparkles, so we turn it that way. We go ahead and flat side that one against here. I did not fill them equally. I can feel that. There's another pink one. Where's the blue? There we go. Now something's got to fit in somewhere, because otherwise I've got an awful lot of them. Unless one of these goes on, yeah, I think that's what it is. One of those goes over the base. So let's go ahead and give that all a try there. Bring the base over. I'm going to go ahead and unplug it real quick. Okay, let's put it together on top of this. Okay. I need the pink one again. Oh, must have it over the wrong way. Ha. Okay. Got that. See, you really need to glue these things together as you go, but I will do a deep search for my craft glue. And then, okay, so blue again. It's just a little puzzle you got to put together. Then the gold, because it's got kind of a gold look to it, so I'm going to call it gold. And then another blue. and then it sits on that. These go together, sits on that, and then those on the top. Or maybe it was these that were supposed to go together on the bottom. Well, I'm not quite sure. I've never seen that before. Really haven't. Because that's not exactly a triangle. Alright, I'm going to put you on pause. I'm going to find my glue and I'm going to work this out together on here. And as soon as I get it together, I'll bring you back and I'll figure out what stickers to put on it. Alright, back in a second or two. Alright everybody, let's have a good laugh because I'm going to, one way or another, figure this out. But the laugh is going to come because, do you know what I'm going to do? This is going to be part one of this. Because I am actually very confused as to what these two pieces are for. I can't even clue into it right now. So I am going to go, I did find my glue, as you can see. It's B7000. It takes 24 hours to dry. So this video would not be able to cover that at all. Not in any single shot. I'm going to go on YouTube and I am going to go see if anybody else has done this and if they can show or tell what these two pieces are for. So I'm going to say stay tuned. If you like this first part, leave a thumbs up, please, and a comment. Oh my goodness. Halloween, yes, Octoberween, life continues. Take the good with the bad with the good. And anyway, thank you to all my subscribers. You guys are wonderful. And hello, all you new people. Awesome. And, if you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so. Hit that notification bell for future videos. And share, please. You guys are great. I'll see you in the next round.